All right. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning, good afternoon, depending on what time you're going to be watching this recording. Welcome to our weekly outlook. I didn't put it up there, but this is actually weekly outlook we want to do now. Okay, so we're going to be looking at a couple of pairs, starting with the DXY, then EU, and then we move to this ones I've tagged red, AUDJPY, AUDNZD, Euro AUD, and then I'll look at two more from currency, and then we'll move to synthetic, and I'll look at three more. Okay, I'm going to be fast. Okay, I don't want to like do like how I used to do the analysis. That's going to take time. No, so I'm going to be fast with it because of the multitude of pairs we want to look at. Okay, so starting with DXY, if you've been watching the recording, you've been following me, you know I've marked this out for a long time. And so we are anticipating the dollar index to drop. Why are we anticipating it to drop? Because number one, we have this, structure level. We have the supply in this area, we have the supply in this area, and then we have, it could be drawn to this structure level. Yeah. So I'm anticipating DXY to buy more, at least to this area here, coming from a retail perspective. Right now, from a smart money standpoint, I see this institutional cube. Yeah. Remember, we have three entry techniques we use. You can either play institutional candle in form of mitigation candle, institutional candle in form of an imbalance, or institutional candle in form of a cube. Right. And then we have this one here, just sitting inside, the structure level, the supply, and then the demand area. All right. So this is a very strong level I want to see price get to. So what is the number? That is a 103,212 to 101,782. So that area, I can see we have this imbalance below here. So price could get there. Okay, but we are still anticipating bearishness on this pair. And price rejected from this imbalance here. We also saw this coming, right? And so it has given us, rejection. Yeah. So, and this is the last month for this year, and we have 25 days, 15 hours for this candle to close. So now let me ask you a question. How is this candle going to close? How is this candle going to round up the year for us? Bearish or bullish? The year started with what candle? Let me see. January 2022 was a December last year was a bearish candle, and then January was a bullish candle. So how is this candle going to close? Bearish. It's one. We have 36 people on the call, so 37. So let me know. Drop your answers. How is this candle going to close? Bearish, bullish, this monthly candle. One person said bearish. Okay, I need to know. Drop your answers. Bearish, 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 bearish. Okay, everybody's saying bearish. Nobody's in favor to the upside. I cannot say. All right, that's an answer. Market will decide. Okay. Yeah, of course. All what we are saying is based on probability. We cannot say 100% is going to close bearish, right? I'm just saying based on probability, which one has a higher chance of playing out, bearish or bullish? It's gonna be a bearish candle that has been rejected. Bullish pin bar, okay. It will close with a long wick, which I will choose bullish. Okay, bullish. All right, so bullish. Let's see something quickly. This year 2022 is giving us bearish. 2021 was bearish. December 2021 was bearish. December 2020 was bearish. So bearish 2020, bearish 2021. Let's check 2019. 2019 bearish. Are you guys seeing something now? 2019 is also bearish. Let's check 2018. 2018 also bearish. Okay, 2017 also bearish. Wow. Now, for since 2018, 2018, 2019, 2021, it has all been bearish. Can you guys see it? Let's check all the way to 2014. Let's check 2017. 2017 December 2017 was 2017 was bearish. 2016 was bullish. Okay, you guys can see 2016 was bullish. So 2016 broke the pattern, right? So, and then 2017 to present, bearish, bearish, bearish. 2015 was December 2015 was bearish. Wow, there's a lot of bearishness. Looking at it, I can say this year, December is going to close bearish because we have a lot of bearish December. Okay, so maybe that's what's going to happen here. Okay. And besides, I wanted to get to this area. Okay. I wanted to get to this area. So bearish, I can see a lot of bearishness. So I'm in favor of price going to the downside. Okay. Yes. So that's that. And then this is for the monthly time frame. If we go to the weekly time frame now, I can see we have this imbalance here. You guys can see we have this imbalance in this area from year to year. Okay. I feel price will want to get to, okay, like price will want to get to that area, and then it comes to the demand and supply area also. So price should still go to the downside. Okay, and I can see we have this liquidity in this area that is building up now. Okay, so I'm still in favor of price going to the downside. We'll check the daily time frame. What do we have? Can you see the liquidity is getting clearer now? So this is money here for me. And then I can remember calling out price should go down from this area. Okay, and then we had Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we had price create the high, and then that was the high of the week, if I'm correct. And then Thursday, Friday, price sold down. Okay, so and then today, Monday, this is where we have. So what am I anticipating for the DXY? Overall, I still want to see it go down, but where can it go down from? Oh, this is the weekly, this is the daily time frame. And then we have a daily range now. This is the daily top range for me. Okay, and then this is the down range presently. Might not be established yet, but presently this is the down range. So we are within this range now. Check the 4 hours. I can see this. Okay, so we have this on the daily. Remember, this is the lower high, and then this is the lower low. But on the 4 hour now, we can see we have this low, this high, and then this low. It's going to be more evident on the 1 hour. Okay, and you see, so on the 1 hour, we have this, check the structure. We have this low, we have this high, we have this low, kind of broke the structure. But you can see it didn't hold, right? And then price still came down. This just adds to the fact that there's what I always say, you cannot determine the extent to which a new low can be formed in a bearish market. Like if price is selling down, if price is giving us lower lows, lower highs, lower lows and lower highs, you can tell that this is a higher probability than this. What I'm trying to say is if price has given us a lower low, we know that it shouldn't go above here. So this is the highest point of invalidation for me. So that means I have just one shot at taking a sell here. And if it doesn't play out, I have just one shot. I'm going to take one loss. You guys catch that now? One shot at this to go down. If it doesn't play out, I'm going to take one loss. But trying to catch a lower low, you can definitely take multiple losses in this area if you're not careful. Because you feel the low is going to be established here, you take a loss. You feel, okay, maybe the low is going to be established here, you take another loss. And then the low is going to be established here, you take another loss. And then finally price comes here, and then the retracement, begins, something like this, and then the retracement begins. But now you've taken multiple losses here. So this catching sells in line with the trend I know I have just one shot at taking a sell. If it doesn't play out, it's going to hit my stop loss. That is one loss for me. I'm trying to catch the beginning of the retracement when price is establishing a new lower low in a downtrend, because you could see an imbalance in this area and you feel, okay, the low is going to be established there, and price doesn't do that. Just in this case here now. Okay, we have this, you feel, okay, the break structure has happened. The low has been set on the daily, boom, take a loss. You guys understand that? Let me know if you understand what I just said. Drop an expression in the chat box. Let me know if you understand what I just said. Any expression at all, any emoji making sense. I get. Okay. So now which one is better? Which one is better now? Because trying, yeah, I know I have just one shot at taking the sell. If it doesn't play out, it's going to go up. Trade is not valid anymore for me. But for this one, it could still be valid. We've seen cases where we try to feel, okay, the lower low has been established. I see the break of structure on lower time frame. I want to get in on the buy to catch a retracement early. Boom, take a loss. Price still sells. It happens again, I take another loss. If you're not careful, you can take multiple losses in this area. But this one, I know it's just one shot. It doesn't play out, one loss. I can recover it back when I catch a good trade. But this one, you're going to take multiple losses because you're trying to catch the beginning of the retracement. So in summary, trade with the trend. Okay. Counter trend is bad. Yes. But then the truth of the matter is some people need to trade against structure in order for us to have a complete structure. If everybody's going to trade with the trend, who then is buying this to create a higher low, a lower high, and then everybody joins the lower low, they move to the lower low, who is going against it? So see, some people need to do this. Some this. You just have to be careful. Okay? Yeah. But sometimes, coach, market can give multiple entries for a sell in the bearish trend. Exactly. Yes. But then one of the ways you can eliminate that and look for the highest probability is in this area. I know I'm going to divide it into two. I'm looking at 50% and above. Already, that has already eliminated any break or structure I'm seeing below 50%. So if this plays out and it doesn't feel me, it's fine. Because if you're not careful here also, you can take a break or structure as price is in this area and then price goes up again. Now that's one loss. And then it gives you another break or structure at premium. You take it again, maybe it doesn't play out. For me, that's going to be one loss. But you now, you've taken a loss here, you've taken another one here. You understand? Okay. And I think multiple losses in this area can be as a result of catching lower time frame entries. Like you go like way lower, 1 minute, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, all of that stuff. You guys understand? But in this area, this one is high probability than this one because you may not really know where this low is going to be established, right? Yeah. I mean, I'm not supposed to be teaching. This is supposed to be trade idea calls, right? All right, guys, don't make me teach. Let's just look for trade ideas. Okay? Yeah, that's what we're going to do. All right. See, now I've spent a lot of time on DXY alone. Yes. So let's go back to the 4 hours quickly. What am I seeing? I feel he's gonna buy. Okay, so since this is the daily range, since this is the daily range, right? I feel if we draw the fib now from this high to this low, you can see, and then anything above 50% is where we'll be looking at for sell opportunities. Okay, we have the liquidity down here. Okay, so are we anticipating the 4 hour to buy? So any area from 50% above, that's premium for a sell. Okay, do we see an area where we can anticipate sales from? Yes. And yes, we have this imbalance here, and we also have this institutional candle. Did it create equal highs? Let me see. Kind of, but not so equal. So I'll be anticipating a push up, okay, like a push up and then price should sell down, right? To give us that, lower high, lower low, lower high, and then a lower low. Okay, so this idea is coming from the daily because we have the daily range, right? This is it. Okay, and I feel price should at least give us a premium entry because we have a new daily range now. I want to see buy up and then sell down. So maybe we might not even take out this liquidity this week. Are you guys following now? If price is going to buy up, then we might not take out the liquidity this week. It might just be for next week, just like what we had in this area, right? Price gave the liquidity, create equal lows, came up, reacted from this imbalance, dropped, gave us equal lows, went up, filled the imbalance, and then boom, we had a push to the downside. So something like that. I just want to see a repetition of same pattern: low, high, low, high, low, high, low. That's what I want to see. Okay, it's better to trade with what is already happening. Okay, this is what I'm seeing. This is what has been happening. Let me believe it's still going to happen. Okay, so push up and then price should sell down. Okay, so if we go to the 4 hours now, or the 1 hour, I think Mark caught a buy opportunity, right? I don't know how it was on a lower time frame, and entry did that. So this, let me put this from the low all the way to this high, and then 50%. So I would be in favor of buys to go up. But remember, the buy can hit stop loss because we are trying to establish and say, okay, I think the low has been set. So therefore, this retracement is about to start. Okay, so we could be wrong. We definitely could be wrong. As in, I could be wrong with this, but maybe this is the low that's been established, and then we can look for buy opportunities to go to the upside. Okay, you can see we have imbalances here, imbalance here, institutional mitigation candle up here. So what I'm anticipating is price go to the upside for DXY. And if price is going to the upside for DXY, EU maybe should be going to the downside. Okay. Yes. So now let me check 30 minutes. See. Let me check the 15 minutes. Aha, yes. So on 15 minutes, I can see we have this structure break, right? We have this low, we have this high. So this low, yeah, this high, and then this low. Okay, so we had a break, price has given us a new high. So now evidence that a lower time frame, like a bigger, higher time frame structure is about to begin retracement is that we're going to see a break of structure on lower time frame. Okay, what I'm trying to say is let's assume this is the daily, we have lower low, lower high, lower low. So this is the daily range now. How do we know that a retracement is about to start? On a lower time frame in this area, we're going to see a break of structure to the retracement direction on a higher time frame, right? Like the higher time frame is about to buy, lower time frame should start to break structure to go to the upside, right? But then, like I told you guys before, you cannot determine with a high level of precision where the low will be set. So this has broken structure, it could still drop, meaning they are not ready to set the low yet. Okay, but with what we are having now, we can see the breaker structure ready. So let's just bank on that. Okay, so I see this. Okay, and then we have this as the top range now, and then we have this as the down range. So we're going to do the same thing again. We measure from here all the way up, and then we're looking at discounts now. 50% below is where we want to be looking at for buy opportunities. So anything from here to this area, I want to look out for buy opportunities. So what do we see? What do we see? Of course, I can see this liquidity that got swept, right? All of this liquidity by this candle, all of this candle starting from here. Okay, sold down, captured the liquidity, and then we had some push to the downside again. Okay, and monitoring this range, I can see we have imbalance in this area, lines up with this last consecutive bearish move to the downside. I swept this liquidity here. So Okay, let's do something like this. Let's do something like this. Oh, are you serious? Oh, okay. So we have this maybe mitigation in this area, mitigation in this area. Yeah. And then we have this imbalance also in this area. Yep. Okay. So push down to then go up, right? And it's beginning to give us some kind of M. So something like that is what I'm anticipating for DXY. It's just going to be the opposite for EU now. Okay. So when we go to EU, I'm going to EU, just I don't need to do the analysis from a higher time frame again. It's just going to be the opposite. Okay. And EU is actually inside, EU is actually inside the EU has gotten to the weekly, to the monthly demand supply area, right? DXY has not gotten there, but EU has gotten there already. So what is making EU to be in a hurry? So something like this, we see the structure shift also to the downside, right? It's high, it's low, high, and then we have this. So we have this as the range. Okay, yeah. So more like the top range, yeah. And now it's making sense on EU because I see this liquidity. Was this liquidity there on the DXY? Okay. Okay. So EU has the liquidity to the downside. All right. I like that. Now they should. So we have liquidity to the downside. Okay. Like this. Then we have this structure break. Aha. So push up. I can see this imbalance. Okay. On DXY, I think the imbalance was showing clearly, lines up with where the sell started. So EU should be where the buy started. So are you sure mitigation has not happened on EU? So we also have equal highs in this area. Okay, more like internal liquidity inside the range. So maybe this area for EU, right? Something like that. So go down. And if we draw the fib, we are definitely at premium, right? So this area is above 50%. Yes. So this is it for EU. Keep an eye. This area price could reject from there. Okay. Yeah. We want to go by. No. I don't want to call out to the limit order. Okay, so just keep an eye in this area. All right, for EU to go down. Yes, we've done the analysis already on DXY, so you know why we want to sell on EU. So that's for DXY and EURUSD. And then AUDJPY, I sent out the trade idea. And from the monthly, I think I saw this. Okay, so you can see we had this monthly liquidity. You see this high, this area here, and then this area here. We had this big candle, swept the liquidity to the upside. Thank you. We had this equal highs, swept it, came into the imbalance. We had an imbalance on the weekly time frame. Okay, so we had liquidity just chilling below at imbalance. Can see this imbalance here. It happened December 2014. It's about 2022, about 8 years ago. So price came into that area and took out equal highs. And then we had what? Distribution there. Look at this, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, and then we had a break. So it already broke structure to the downside. Let me see something quickly. All right, let's go to the weekly time frame. Okay, so it broke structure to the downside. 8 years, yeah, 8 years ago. That's it. This imbalance here was from December 8th, 2014. So I'm correct, that's 8 years. 6 more years, 2020, 2 years, 2022. That's 8 years ago. Yeah. Now, as you can see, we have distribution. Price stopped the imbalance and then rejected. You can see we had multiple weeks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks of sell, and then price went back up, came into this imbalance here. Okay, then we had price spent time there, right? We had 1, 2, 3 months. 4th month, price came down, went back inside again, and now we had to drop. So all of this area now, I can see liquidity here. So there's money in this area, here, and here, right? It doesn't have to be equal like lows. This is more like John, my mentor will call it low resistant highs. Right? It's going to call it low. That's what he calls them, low resistant highs. So just still liquidity, right? Because the idea now is people are trying to buy the trend line. It's more like a trend line now, you see? So we have this go up, this go up, this go up. So they're just creating money to be captured later, right? So because of that, I would be anticipating lower pricing on AUDJPY. And in terms of the weekly range, I can see this, and this. Okay, so all of this area looks balanced. Only place that's not balanced is from here to where we are now. Okay, so price shouldn't really go above here. That's what I am anticipating and what I believe would happen. It doesn't have to happen, but this is what I believe should happen. Okay, and then if we go to the daily time frame, you can see the way I'm walking down monthly, weekly, daily, 4 hours, 1 hour, 15 minutes. Okay, and now the daily we have this. Okay, we have to really check the structure in this area. After price broke this to the downside, we had this, follow me now. We had this low, we had this high, we had this lower low. And then price broke the structure, started going up. We had this higher high, higher low, higher high, break a structure, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. So we could have caught multiple lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, lower highs. Now price is here. So we didn't do all of that. And then this is where we are now. So just like what has been happening, I'm going to believe that the same thing is going to happen again. Okay, so price has given us, this looks like the low has been established already. So we have this daily range now as the top range and then the down range. So what I'm anticipating is price should come into this area, give us some kind of break of structure on lower time frame. Okay, and then you catch the sell to the downside. Doesn't really have to be 1 minute. This is the daily time frame. So definitely there will be multiple 1 minute break of structure in this area. So try to go higher a bit. So maybe 1 hour. Okay, 30 minutes. You get what I'm saying, right? Yeah. And if we scale down to the 4 hours, like the 4 time frame, this is what we have. Yeah, so on the 4 hours now, you can see. Now let's check the 1 hour. You can see the break of structure we had in this area, right? Remember when we started the call, evidence that the higher time frame is about to begin retracement is that we're going to see a break of structure on lower time frame. Right? Do we have the break of structure on 1 hour now? Yes, low, high, low, and then we had a break. So this now is the lowest low. Maybe the low has been set on the daily to begin the retracement to go to the upside. And then if we check the daily, we divide it into 2. We want to be buying at premium, right? We want to be buying, making sure that our entry for the sell is going to be at premium. So we're going to catch an entry at premium, take it all the way down, capture this liquidity, come and fill this weekly imbalance here. You don't have to hold for that long. Okay, you can just catch a 1 to 3 and you're out. Okay, so from this high to this low, okay, 50% is from this daily imbalance upward. So if we go to the 4 hours, okay, go to the 4 hours. Let me just bring this here. Drag this to this area. So on the 4 hours, we can also see the structure, right? We have this low, high, low, and then so this to go down. We should trade with the trend, right? Yeah. So we want to be buying, want to be selling at 50% and above. What do we see? Is there an entry opportunity here? Okay, I see this equal highs. Yeah, this candle swept it, went up. So we have mitigation candle in this area plus this big imbalance here. Okay, so maybe a push up. All of this is already at premium. So maybe a push up into the imbalance and then look for distribution the lower time frame, get the retest, and then go down. If you place a limit order here with stop loss above here, I'm sure that's going to be more than 30 pips. Let me see. How do I come here? Okay, yeah. All the way up here is about 52 pips. So there's no way I'm going to have a 52 pip stop loss. Okay, maximum pip for stop loss is 30 for me. It's that. So the breaker structure on lower time frame would be most likely favored in this area, and then price should drop. Though we have some liquidity in this area up here, which I'm just seeing now, all of this area here. So let's anticipate that they might not come for it. Okay, because it is outside the range. This is the range we are looking at, this low and this high. So like this. And we also have this 1 hour breaker structure. I don't know if you've seen it to the upside. So you could be, we can potentially look to buy and then sell later, something like that. So the 4 hour imbalance, let me highlight it. Chart is getting to mercy. Let me take this off. Okay, so we have this 4 hour imbalance here. And then on the 1 hour, coach, why is the 0 level of the fib at that position? Thought it should be on the week in 4 hours. I have deleted the fib already. Let me go back and see what is. Why is the 0? Oh, is that where it is? Let me check the daily. Oh, sorry. Must have been my mistake. It's supposed to be here. Yes. Yeah. So on the 4 hours. Yes, exactly. Yeah. So still the same thing. Like we're anticipating price should come to a premium level and then we take a sell from there. Okay. Yep. So we have this imbalance on the 4 hours. Okay. So keep an eye. So maybe we can buy up to that area. Then we have structure shift already, low, high, low. And then we have what? This. So it's already creating some kind of equal highs. To make sense if they leave it and then start to distribute, come down and then push to go up. Okay. Yes. So we have breaker structure. Yeah. We have our down range in this. Our down range in this area. So maybe the high has not been set, but let's anticipate they will not sweep this liquidity. Yeah. So we have liquidity above. So to measure from swing low all the way to, let's anticipate that maybe it's going to get here and reject. Then buying below 50% makes sense. And we can see we have this imbalance below 50%. So you can keep an eye in this area for a buy opportunity to the upside here. Aha, something like this to go to the upside. And then so we want to, this is what we want to see price to sell down, go up. This is where we now want to sell from because the daily is bearish. So we just want to catch the retracement to go up and then take the, continue with the trend to now go to the downside. Okay. Yeah, so that's for AUDJPY quickly. Then AUDNZD. AUDNZD on the daily time frame. You know, this has been selling really, really hard. You know, let me show you guys something quickly on AUDNZD. I'm coming. Let me quickly. Okay. Yes, so let me pull it up quickly for AUDNZD. Yeah. All right, look at this. So we've actually like I wanted to see this really sell because we had this liquidity to the downside. We had the second liquidity I spotted, and then the third one. You can see today now price has captured everything, held the liquidity to the downside. Okay, and if we go up to the monthly time frame scale, we can see that price gave us a new higher high, and then price was coming to, it's now coming to give us a higher low potentially, okay, because that's not established yet. All right, but in terms of the structure, we had this low, this high, this low, and then we had a higher high in this area. And then we had higher high around July 2015. And then since then, price has just been ranging between this, top range and this down range for good 7 years. It's been ranging, right? And then finally gave us a new higher high around September. As September this year, we had a new higher high, and then price has since then been coming down. So if price is going to be bullish, then we should see price continue to buy. So I actually marked out this area and put accumulation. So maybe we have this Y curve accumulation going on. I don't really know what it is, like how like I'm not really into it. So, but I know maybe something like this is what's going on. Maybe Y curve. I'm not sure. I could be wrong, but then so this imbalance is sketchy to me, right? Every other area below here looks balanced except this area. So what I'm anticipating on the monthly is maybe a little more push to the downside. And then, I mean, it has been selling for a very long time. So selling a little bit more won't be bad. Come down and then go. I'll be looking out for like bullish price action in this area. Okay. More like a breaker structure and lower time frame. Evidence that it wants to go up. Okay. I'm not just going to be placing a limit here and then stop loss is just going to be down here. Then I'm getting in with 265 pip stop loss. Tell me, when is this ever going to hit TP? 265, and then I'm going for 1 to 3. So around this area, about 797 pip, just 1 TP. And imagine risking $10 on this trade. So you're going to wait to a whole 797 pips just to make $30. Is that fair enough? Is it fair enough? It's not fair for me because we waited so many and so long just to make. So no. All right, wait for accumulation. Let us see that breaker structure in this area to go up. Okay. And now we'll scale down to the weekly time frame, daily time frame. So basically, I'm not saying anything because it's just slow price action to the upside. So the idea is from the weekly, from the monthly. So just keep an eye on the monthly. Okay, so this should still sell down a little. And then Euro AUD. Yes, for Euro AUD. Starting from the monthly time frame, I can see we are bullish on the monthly. Okay, price was coming in a bearish form. Before we had this lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. Then we had a break, and then price is giving us a higher high. And then so what I'm anticipating is push down and then go up. That's what I'm anticipating on the monthly time frame. As on a monthly time frame. On the weekly now, this is what we have on the weekly. So that break of structure that was not too clear on the monthly is very, very clear on the weekly now. You had this low, you had this high, you had this low, you had the break, and then we have this high. So I'm anticipating a push down to then go up. That's what I'm looking at. Now we scale down to the daily time frame. What is the daily telling us now? So this is the daily, right? You can see price action is slowly going to the downside. So now if we were to check the structure that is happening here, we had this low, we had this high, and then we had this low, we had this high. Then we had this low, we had this high, and Price is not giving us a new lower low yet. So the daily range is now giving us, bearish structure to the downside. Okay, so maybe it's going to go down the more. And then the weekly and the monthly, we want to see a retracement to the downside. So all of this sell, if it's going to happen on the daily, is just going to be a retracement on the weekly and monthly. But it's going to be a very, very long time sell if you catch an entry on 15 minutes. That's going to be like a very, very big, massive risk reward sell for you if that's going to happen. Okay. Yeah. All right. So let's scale down. So on the daily time frame, you can see the liquidity to the upside and then the liquidity to the downside also, right? So we have liquidity both to the upside and liquidity to the downside. On the 4 hours now, this is what I am seeing, which I sent out to you guys also. We have this equal highs, there's liquidity there. Down here, there's liquidity here. 4 hour, we have this structure within the structure that is showing bearishness. Okay, this low, this high, and then this low. So more like a retracement to the upside and then price should dump. But now we have this liquidity here. So this liquidity would be one reason why this sell might not hold. Or price goes above this area and capture the high, and then maybe we have the distribution in this area. Okay, but they might want to come for this liquidity. It's just in very few cases where price will just come here and then not come for the liquidity and then just come to the downside. But because it's there, we cannot unsee it. We've seen it, there's no way we can unsee it. So we have to put this liquidity into consideration that they might come for this liquidity here. So don't have like a limit order on this trade. Maybe you just want to like put your entry here, stop loss. Even the stop loss is too much. 64 pips is too much for me. So 800, something like this. That's an 80 level, and then stop loss should just be up here. That's about 70 pips stop loss. It's too much. Okay, this is going to be too much. So just wait for price to come into this area and let's try to see if we can get that distribution on lower time frame inside here. And then that would be it. Okay. And then we would anticipate that maybe, okay, it's always going to be maybe. I cannot say with 100% certainty that they're not going to come for this. Maybe they're not going to come for this liquidity. And then we can catch a sell here and then drop. Even if you catch a lower time frame entry in this area, you could make your 1 to 3 before price even reject to the upside. So what I'm going to say is in this, for a case like this, if we have the distribution and you've made 1 to 3, if you are in with the lowest lot size, that means you cannot take partials, just close at full 1 to 3. You don't want to make money 1 to 3 just for price to reject and take you out at break even, or you didn't even adjust your stop loss. Okay, if it's going to go down, there would be another opportunity to get in. Okay, so if you are in, if this is going to play out and then you're in with the lowest lot size, just take your profits and go. But if you are in with a much more bigger lot, you can know how to split it, take something, stop loss to break even, just do your thing. Okay, but make sure you profit on this if it's going to play out. Okay. Penta, please consider the range before the liquidity, because I'm thinking the previous range is still intact. On what time frame? The 4-hour time frame? Okay, I can see. Continue. All right. Well, what you're trying to say is we have this. If I get you clearly, this. That's what you're saying. And then this. Is that what you're saying? This. Because I actually got a hard. The imbalance was from the 2 hours. Okay, it was from the 2 hours. So I can see we have this, low here, and then we have this. So I was anticipating price should come into this area and then distribute. But because of this liquidity, we need to be careful. Change to line chart, please. Okay, line chart. All right, this is the line chart. You can annotate on the screen. Do you want me to unmute you? You want me to unmute you so you can just talk? Okay, it's 2 people that's actually asking question now. Let me know if you want me to unmute you, okay? All right, so while I'm waiting for, okay, I'm in a class. Okay. I was looking at the previous range. On what time frame? Is it the 4 hours? On what time frame? Is it the 4 hours time frame? Yes, 4-hour time frame. Okay. Just to check the structure, I think the line chart is clear. All right. All right. If we are to like start the analysis, like checking the structure, okay, on the 4 hours, we have, price is giving us this high, this low, and then we have all of this high. We have this low, we have this high, and then give us this break here, lower low, lower high, okay, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, and a break, higher high, higher low, all of this, boom, higher high. So yes, the structure is bullish on the 4 hours. You guys can see from where I stopped. Yeah, so this was the higher low that gave us this higher high. This closed above this, right? Yes, so there's a higher high. So the 4-hour structure is bullish and then give us this low. This low is lower than this. Okay, no. So it's not lower than that. Okay, but on the 2 hours, I actually saw that it was lower. Yeah, you can see closed below. That was why I went to 2 hours and I said, okay, since this has closed below and I'm in favor of price going to the downside, I'll be anticipating a push up, and then look for distribution in this area, and then we can now possibly look for lower pricing to go to the downside as for Euro AUD. So that was where I stopped with the analysis. I've not done the rest to the downside. So I will, maybe when I'm back, I'll just try to check for a few more and then post in the group for you guys. Okay, so now let's switch to synthetic. So we're going to start with VIX25. VIX25 is doing something very interesting. Thank God we saw it early. All right. I mean, let me delete everything. All right. So for VIX25, we have this liquidity. So we've been monitoring this liquidity for a very, very long time. Those of you that have like been plugging in, we've been monitoring this liquidity now for a while. Okay, so we've been monitoring this liquidity. So price is there. It's a very, very simple analysis we're going to do on this pair. We don't need to go to advanced. Bolu already sent out what I'm looking at. It's the same thing. What he marked out is also what I'm looking at. Okay, in terms of the range on the daily, we have this low, we have this high, and then we have this low, right? So we have this, if you draw the fib from the swing high to the low, in this area, we want to be selling at premium. So any area above 50% is premium for me. So, and I can see we have this big imbalance in this area above 50%, lines up with this mitigation candle, swept this liquidity, feel this imbalance. So in this area, I would be anticipating lower pricing. So very simple. What am I looking out for? is this should continue buying up, come into this imbalance here, and then give us what? Distribution and lower time frame high, low, high, break, and then retest to go down. Connection error. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? Yes. So why is this saying connection error? All right. So this is what I'm looking at for VIX25. Let's keep on high. Okay. On this area. So let me try and mark it up well. So the first thing is the liquidity. We see the liquidity. I'm coming. All right. So there's money just chilling in this area. Okay. And then we have the daily range, as this is the top range on the daily. Yeah. And then this is the down range we have here. We have liquidity. We have imbalance here. Come in. Let me just yes, so we have the imbalance here. So I'll be anticipating price to buy up into the imbalance, and then we can now anticipate distribution on lower time frames. So just keep an eye on this area. Okay. Oh, okay. Coach, when there is an imbalance close to an institutional candle, which should we look to play, the imbalance or institutional candle? I mean, there will always be an answer. You know, when you check the charts like this now, I see this candle. These two candles is actually what creates what the institutional candle. And then we have this imbalance. So the imbalance is inside. If you check very well, the imbalance is actually inside the institutional candle already. So anyway, if you're going to play the institutional candle, you will also be playing the imbalance. And how do we know which is going to hold? There is no way we can know which one is going to hold with 100% like certainty. It's just based on probability. Because we've seen it happen before, we can now plan our trade based on past occurrences. Like, okay, this has happened before. I've seen this happen here. So maybe it's going to happen again in this area. Right, for example, now, let me show you. Let's look for one that's happened in this area here. We don't need to go too far. All right, look at this here in this area. Look at this range. Okay, look at the repetition. And yeah, now we had this low, we had this high, we had this low. Price came into this imbalance, spent many days, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6, 7, came back 8 days, and then price dropped. That was the high end. Price came down. We had this range now, high, low. Price came into this imbalance, gave us some days also, spent some days there, rejected. That's happened here. It has happened here. So we can anticipate that, okay, we have it here, low, high, low, imbalance also. Come here, maybe spend a couple of days, drop. That's it. So because it has happened before, we can plan our trade based on what? Probability that, okay, maybe it's going to happen again. And then you need to make sure that it is a high probability. Are there reasons as to why it's going to go down? Are you buying at premium? Okay, so all of that stuff needs to be there. You're not just going to be taking a trade because, oh, I see it play out here before. I see it play out here before. Are there reasons that is backing up why it should go down? Okay. This is in the daily chart. It is, for the time frame is showing 15, but it is the daily. To go to the daily now, it's going to be the same thing. Same thing. Uh, this is a, wait, I'm coming. Oh, I thought that was So let me just mark it up quickly. Okay, you're analyzing on M15. No, it's daily. It's daily. I don't know. It's going to be showing a different time frame here, but it's going to be showing the chart is going to be different from what the time frame is saying. But I know the daily chart for VIX 25. I know it. This equal lows is definitely on the daily. But I've changed it back to daily. Okay, your network. All right, so equal lows. Expect some kind of distribution in this imbalance here to go down. Okay, so what am I saying? Wait for price to come up, look for distribution, and then catch the retracements, the same range again, play the retest premium to come down. Okay, yes. So that's it. That's what I'm looking at for VIX 25. And this is my only interest on synthetic indices for now. So let me take two more. Somebody said VIX 75. And I'll take one more. Which other one you want me to look at? Step index. Step index has been selling for a very, very long time. All right. Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me? Yeah, fam, no problem. Okay, I will drop the recording. Yes. Okay, you guys can hear me. How come this is not loading? Let me try to reload it then. Okay. Guys, can you hear me? I don't. Let me remove it and just put it back. Okay, yeah, we have it. I don't know why this TradingView website for synthetic indices is just so different from the normal one we are used to. This one is very different and more less professional, I would say. All right, so VIX 25 quickly. This is VIX 25. Let's go to the daily time frame. This is the daily time frame. Yes. Can remember I called out a buy opportunity. Guys, keep on high. We are close to capturing the equal highs. You guys remember, right? Yeah, something like this. Yes. And then we took it out. And since then we did, and then we gave a distribution price distributed. Yes, I can remember another call we had when we looked at VIX 25, VIX 75. If you guys can remember clearly, I was like, if we can establish a low, if price can break this low here, okay, and price go up, we can anticipate some kind of sell opportunity at this imbalance. If you remember, if you were on that call, please can you like confirm what I just said? I think it was on the last call. I think it was on the last call we had. Are you guys with me? Where I discussed let me see quickly. Was it weekly outlook? No, this one I think I just talked on. You guys remember, right? Bullet, were you on the call? Must have been one of the videos there. So I was like, okay, okay, we're not on the call. Yes. Let me see. Um, I'm just gonna check quickly. I'm coming. Okay, no, it's not this one. It must have been the other one then. That was the call before. No, it's not November. Maybe it's the one we posted. We posted to the um. I'm coming. Just give me a couple of minutes. I want to confirm quickly. To this. Yeah, I think it's this one. Yeah. Yes, this one. Yeah. For VIX 25. That we had the call we had with Philip. You guys remember? Where we looked at VIX 50, VIX I think we talked about VIX 50, VIX 75, and then one more pair. Okay, yes, I've seen it. That was a weekly outlook, 21/11, 2022. That was November 21. That was when we discussed this. I think what date was this? When was all of this? November 21. Yes. So this was it. It was on this call we had it. I was like, if price should come back up after price has given us a clear break of structure, because I wanted us to this candle to close when we were having the call on that day. This candle was still printing. You see, if we can close and price come into this imbalance, we can anticipate some sell opportunities, but I wasn't looking at this. So played out and you can see price dropped to the downside. So what am I anticipating now? Structure is going to the downside. As we can see, we have this lower low, lower high, and then this lower low. Okay, kind of have some equal lows in this area, plus this imbalance here. So for VIX 25, I'm still in favor of price going to the downside on the daily. Okay, so on the daily now, I'm still in favor of price going to the downside. Yes. Okay, coming. Yes, I've seen it. So from like 50 minutes, if you want to watch the video from 50 minutes downward, that's where we started to discuss from started from VIX 75, we touched 25, VIX 50, and then one other asset. You see it there. Okay. Yeah. So this is what I want to see is price should go to the downside for this VIX 20, for VIX 75. We have a range already, this low, high, low. So this area here, let me remove all of this quickly. Okay, so we have this internal liquidity here. And then we have this imbalance in this area. Yeah. All right. So price has come into this area, giving us a rejection. It's going up now. Let's scale down timeframes to see if there is anything we can play. So go to the 4 hours now. What do we have? And the 4 hours. So on the 4 hours, you can see the 4-hour distribution that happened, right? We had this high, this low, this high, we had a break. Now we have this lower low, lower high, lower low. So in terms of the 4-hour range now, price should not go above this area here. So this is now the highest point of invalidation for me. All right, scale down to 1 hour. Let me check something. Okay, and let's go back to the 4 hours again. So we have the 4-hour range as the stop range and this down range here on the 4 hours. Draw the fib. Want to make sure that we are looking for sell opportunities at premium, right? So the fibs from here all the way down here. So we want to be selling above 50%, and that is going to happen in this area. We have the 618. We have this area up here at the 78.86 level. I can see an imbalance here, plus this institutional candle. I can see capture this liquidity here. So maybe from here all the way to the downside. So what I'm going to do is going to keep on high on this area. Okay. So from here all the way to this area here. Let price get there. Okay, let price come into this area and then look for distribution in this area. Okay, that is break a structure on lower time frame, and then you can shoot for price to come to the downside. Okay, so this box area now is the potential area forward for distribution. Okay, potential area for distribution. Want price to come into that area, look for break a structure on lower time frame, and the retest, and then you catch your entry to go down. That's what I'm seeing for VIX 75 presently. Okay, and then the last one is going to be step index. Right, step index. Set the daily time frame. What are we doing? All right. I remember very well. There was a sell opportunity I took, I think last 2 years. I can remember, or last year. Was it last year or last 2 years? I can't. It was immediately around this area here. Up, down. Yes, this was it. This one. Clearly, I can remember. Yes. It was a sell opportunity we had in this imbalance here. The price came up to this imbalance, and then I was around 2017. Oh, no, I wasn't trading then. So around 2020. It gave us some kind of ghastly amount pattern. So can't really figure out where it is again. It's a long time ago. So now this is where we are today. We have the breaker structure shift to the upside, and price give us this high, this low, this high, this low, this create a new high, give us the break, and now price is up again. What am I seeing? So price, all of this on a much more bigger time frame, like the weekly, is going to be like a very, very big imbalance. We're going to have multiple imbalances in this area, and price is now beginning to feel them. So let's see this whole entire range. Have we gotten to 50% yet? So price is close to 50% of the retracement. It has not gotten to 50%. So I feel we are still going to drop to the downside, right? Although price is bullish, but maybe more lower pricing to the downside. So for that reason, maybe we can anticipate sell opportunities from here. This is trading against the trend. It's going to be risky, but maybe we can have this. So maybe price comes to this area, okay, and then we can go down the more, okay, more like low, lower high, lower low, lower low, lower high, lower low. So we want to be selling into what? A discount level. Yeah. So something like this. So just keep an eye in this area for a sell opportunity to the downside. So for now, I feel we're still going to buy. And looking at the structure within the structure that is forming, you have this higher high, higher low, higher high. So maybe higher low, higher high, higher low inside this area, and then price can drop to the downside. Okay. That's what I'm looking at for step index. All right. Do you have any question for me before we end the session? Do you have any question for me before we end the session? All right, so please just take about 5 seconds of your time to attend to this, okay? Thank you.